everyone. When
Black noise. Your radio
Bani KaNtondo dladla ephansi nephezulu nomedicine umfazi obele ngepheshe komlanjana onobatya elithokazi ndithi halala ngale mini yamagugu nemvelo esizwe esintsundu ndithi nathi sivukile kweli cala camagu
gonna see you again. Oh yes, this is Bani KaNtondo live podcast coming to you live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Yes, right now. What about now? We are starting the evening show, the sunset show. Sereno Bani KaNtondo. We are live, baby. Yes, we live. Look at me. This is who I am. Oh yes. Hlala nami ngihlale nawe. Yes, man. Ube safe up ezindleleni as you're driving back home. Usiye bantwaneni. Oh madoda ufika bedlala ke bengenzi neza homework. Fike kungona ujulwa ngeza homework ngelo xesha udiniwe. Uthi uzibuza ingaba benza ntoni na batishala esikolweni. Oh yes. Son.
Gonna see us again. We set off into the summer night.
This is Starterfly by Spectrum.
Us again. We were looking for a new.
Let us start our show. Let us start our show with that song. This is Bani KaNtondo.
nomedicine umfazi obele ngepheshe komlanjana onobatya elithokazi ndithi halala ngale mini yamagugu nemvelo esizwe esintsundu ndithi nathi sivukile kweli cala camagu
Oh yes, Tamagu. Welcome to Bunny Podcast, the space where we spark real conversations that matter. I'm your host, Bani KaNtondo. And today we're diving into content creation, education, and community impact. Oh yes, hlala nami ngihlale nawe. If you are a creative, a teacher, or someone passionate about making a difference, this one is for you. Oh yes. Hlala nami ngihlale nawe. You know, in today's world, content is king. But beyond the flashy numbers and viral moments, what does it truly mean to create content that makes an impact? How can we use media not just for entertainment, but as a tool to education, a tool to inspire and challenge perspectives? That's exactly what we'll be unpacking today. So hold on to your seats, hold on tight to your seats, and stay tuned. Please do like, do comment, and share with your friends. Makalele, Bani KaNtondo is live. We live, baby. Yeah, man. The song igqiba ukuphela phana ku-Starterfly kaSpectrum. So ke before singene phaa emxholweni sithethe ngezinto esizobe sithetha ngazo namhlanje, we really need to, yes man, we have to start here.
Black noise, black noise. Power, your blue shows. Black noise, black noise. Black noise.
Yeah, man. Yes, you're still with Bani KaNtondo.
Black noise, black noise.
Lost in the patterns, wish the stars align so we could be free. Palms are sweaty,
Feelings fade.
I'm straight, heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face.
Gion.
On to that ends. It feels
Oh,
like
it's brought to you by the Future House.
I hope that you know I never wanted to be gold. I think it's the only way I know to be alone. Too far from heartbreak, can't feel the pain. Ain't it a shame I think I sold my only soul? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away.
Oh, yes, you're listening to Bani live podcast. And this is Bani KaNtondo, your host. Please stay tuned. After this song, we'll start the show. Can hear that the show, the song is ending, and then, yeah, man, Sunny Bonani, Mulwedi Botani. You may be asking yourself, Mubalo Tetayo in 5, 4, 3, 2, boom. There we go. Yes, man. As I have said before, that this show is going to be diving into content creation, education, and community impact. So if you are a creative, a teacher, someone who's passionate about making a difference, this is specially catered for you. So let's get into it. As you know, that today's world, content is king, but we must know that everybody else is having their own lives. So yeah, man, let's talk about content creation and the journey. Probably we are going to talk about the journey of someone that we all know, which is me, your host, Bani KaNtondo. So yes, man. If you have been as my subscriber or follower since day one, ever since I've started, so you will be relating to the story that I'm about to unpack. So when I started creating the content back in 2022, I didn't have a production team, expensive equipment, or a big audience. What I had was a purpose. I always wanted to create something meaningful, content that would exist beyond the moment, beyond the trends, because at the end of the day, views and likes don't determine the value or the impact. You understand? So, one thing I realized is early on was that consistency is key. Like every day you wake up, you have something to post. Whether one person watches or a thousands doesn't matter. Even though I have never had a thousand who watches at once, even though I've reached and beyond thousand views and stuff. But doesn't matter. The content must still be created, even if it's one view or thousand views. That's how News by Bani and Bani Live podcasts were born. They were just random projects that were platforms to document important discussions, to question societal norms, and to educate, most importantly, in an engaging way. But guess what? No one really likes to comment. No one really likes to engage. But everybody really likes the videos. When we check the stats, it's only less than 3 minutes views. Like they viewed the video for less than 3 minutes. But it doesn't matter. The biggest misconception about content creation is that it requires fancy tools, but really, when it comes to me, man, all you need is just an idea that you need to execute. So I started with minimal resources, yet here we are. But it's not like I have something, I don't even have much, even now. And that's the message. Start where you are with what you have. So I don't want to say much, man, when it comes to the journey, my journey, and this content creation. As much as we haven't really grabbed a direction and having a niche, but we've been on it for quite some time now, and a lot of you will agree with me. You get. So this doesn't really mean that I have to stop, or I won't get followers. Therefore, there's no one who's watching. Therefore, I must stop. I won't. I just keep on going because I know somehow one day someone is going to come across this content and they are going to value it as much as I do. But nonetheless, man, I'm not here to rant. I'm just here to give you another show. So please stay tuned. This is Bunny Live Podcast, and I am your host, Bani KaNtondo. Stay with me. I must stay with you. I'm not gonna leave you like your ex. I'm not gonna run away from you like you're dead. No, I will never. But I'll never hold on to you if you wanna go. I'ma let you go. But I will never leave you behind when I'm leaving, when I'm going. I will come with you. I will take you with. So please, man, let's go. And the next song is Let's Go by Mofok, Mads, and Mazi. Yeah, man, don't ask me where they coming from. This is the music that I can play for you. So just listen. That's all you gotta do.
Your rhythm shows.
Oh, motherfuck, Marley. If you're a content creator, someone who's trying to be one, do it. Nike told you, Dan told you earlier, Nike, Dan told you, just do it. You don't have to wait on anybody.
Three, two, one, let's go. Let's go. Three, two, three, two, one, go. Three, two, one, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yes. That was Let's Go by fucking Mazi. Man, that was crazy. Wow. What a wonderful song right there. Yeah, man, as I was saying, bro. As a content creator, we all started somewhere. And here we are. You're just gonna go a bit by bit, buy get what you can afford and stuff like that. Like maybe it might take you 6 months to upgrade to the next thing and doesn't matter even if it's not quality, just start. Man, when it comes to technology, what matters is how you handle it. Because doesn't matter the quality, but what matters is how you handle it. And also its power, obviously. How much can it like carry? Yeah, that also is important. But yeah, for good quality, obviously you're gonna need good material, equipment. But you don't even have to look for that first. You can start just with your phone, like we all did. Doesn't matter what type of a phone that is, as long it is a smartphone. It's already like that qualifies already for a content creator. But nonetheless, man, let's not talk about the same thing the whole day. Boom, let's get to the next one. The next segment is I told you earlier on that we are going to be diving deep into content creation that we have covered already. I told you you can start anytime you want with anything that you have, just keep on doing it. Probably in 200 years from now, somebody's going to watch it and it's going to give you views. I don't know if your great children will be able to eat from that if you have monetized it and then maybe make like a trust. I don't know, make a will, write it on your will or something. But then again, now we are about to dive into education, as I said, because we are going to be talking about this show. Basically, in this show, we are having this show for creatives, teachers, people who are passionate for making difference in the community, and obviously, we talked about the content creation. Now we're going to be talking about the teachers and education. After that, community impact, people who wants to make an impact in the community and all that. Guys, I've been thinking, like I've been giving myself like a headache, like a homework. But obviously, in this break that I'm going to have from work, like the coming break, I am going to approach people and I want to have guests now, or either I'm going to go to their places or they're going to come over to my place. But I'm also, also there's something under construction. My studio is under construction. Let me just say it, so that those who fly by night can come and try to fafaza things so that my studio doesn't happen. But it's gonna happen anyway. It's happening very soon. So yeah, man, we're going to be ready with that. And yeah, it's working with people. But then again, I don't know. Whoever wants to work with me can holler. You can say it on the comment section or whatever. No, we'll talk about payments and stuff like that, man. Come on. But nonetheless, man, let me stop derailing. So we're going to talk about content creation, education, community impact. So this is about creatives, teachers, people who are passionate about making difference in the society. Now, this is our second segment. Yemena, community and education impact. As a teacher, someone that we know, you would see gaps in our education system, and that happens at first hand. Like it's ridiculously like challenging for people who are teachers, depending on their mindset, anyways, and values. But obviously, anyone who's in that field values education just like more than anybody else because they are catering that. That's what they're giving to people. That's what they have been trained for. That's what they know, like education, acquiring it and facilitating it. Also facilitating its circulation, that like enlightening people, like just bringing people to where knowledge is and everything. So educators, Jay, they see the gaps in the education system at first hand. Many schools, especially under resourced ones, lack of the necessary tools to keep students engaged, get kids not knowing what to do during break time when there's no teacher in class and when there's sport time. That's why I started brainstorming creative ways to educate beyond the classroom, you know, through game shows, storytelling, and practical skill training. These things, as I'm talking about them now, they're coming to light that wow, these are the things that I have actually carried out. These are the things I have done for the community. But I'm not even looking for a crown or a throne for that. I don't need any light to shine upon me because I don't even feel like I've done enough even yet because I want to do bigger than what I have already done for the community. I feel like I haven't done anything. Like, engaging the kids and trying to make them understand the content creation world, that you can make something out of it, trying to get the talent and expose the talent, expose the learners and the kids to, like, and unleashing the inner beings that they have carried inside. I've done all of that through games, game shows, and allowing them to be free around me and all that. And then making them create their stories and be able to tell these stories. You know, this actually doesn't really challenge their brains, but it develops their way of interacting with life, how they see life. If they can make a story, they can make their own real story, and focus on it. They can stay on the storyline. If they can write one story and act it out and direct it, they can easily stay on the storyline in their real lives. So storytelling is a big thing. Like it's not just for entertainment, but in the process, they are also getting entertained, getting something that is engaging as much as there's no much resources in the traditional school setting. But sometimes as people, even if you're a teacher, you can create these opportunities for these learners. At times you may get that a lot of learners in class, they don't even understand what is written because they don't know how to read for understanding. Some of them, they don't even know how to read at all. It's so sad. It's bad. Bad for the person that the child himself, the child's future. And if the child's future is doomed, the child is a citizen of a certain country. And imagine if we have three, four of these children who cannot read, the country is doomed, and they are going to be adults, and they are going to have responsibilities because they have rights to interact with others, socialize. They might even get babies that they will have to feed, or they will have lives that they will have to take and maintain, you know. And how are they going to do this if they don't have any means or ways? They are going to make ways, like violent ways, whereby they are going to cause chaos and infringe other people's rights. They will end up being criminals and stuff like that because they never had like a chance to expose, or a chance to stay in class, or a chance. They were never given more options, like they would be told, hey, stay in class, do your homework. If you don't know how to read, you're not going to be anything in life. And the child will have that in mind, like for the rest of their time. And they will only go to school just because somebody told them, if you go to school, you'll be something in life. And yet when they are there, they don't even understand what's happening. They don't even know why they're there. So as a person who's been experiencing this, I also have tried like integrating practical skills training just beyond the classroom or beyond the curriculum, of which I feel like that should be, if it cannot be infused into the daily curriculum of the school, the main curriculum, it should be also be part of the extracurricular, like, or something that is compulsory for all learners to learn, like practical skills. A learner must have at least a basic practical skill, like knowing how to plant. At least doesn't have to do agriculture in order for them to know how to plant. Like they must know how to at least fix their shoes, like these kids, they don't even know how to do that. They all outsource everything just like the government. It's weird, isn't it? Because the government outsources everything, even is selling this SOEs. Even children in the country, if when things are broken, they're gonna find someone to fix them for them. They can't even fix a phone, like a simple phone, like a phone, like to put a screen, like an LCD screen that is being put in front of them when they break it, because they break them all the time. They get them fixed all the time. They are always changed in front of them. They can see when the person who they take it to changes the screen. They can see how the person changes the screen, but they don't even try. They put glue, super glue, and they put the screen back. They don't even try when the screen breaks again. They gotta ask for money from their parents. That's how doomed our culture is, because that's the culture we are having right now. We're embracing in South Africa, like acting like, I don't know, man. You can't say nobles, because yeah, they're acting like prince and princesses, whereas they don't have a cent. And but then, if we as the adults or the grown-ups in the community, we don't create these game shows, these storytelling opportunities, and all these practical skills training, we're going to lose our future. Are we going to lose our children? So one of the biggest challenges is also motivation. You get that a lot of, like, even those who go to school, those who are academically capable of um, standing the academic, like those who are academically capable, who can actually read and write, and sometimes do fail because they don't know how to tackle problems, how to problem solve, and they are not motivated into saying, if they are given an assignment, they will be excited to a point whereby it, on its complete, you can feel it in its completion that this learner was enthusiastic and was really excited about this. But you'd find that, nah, it's copy and paste. There's no motivation. It's not just about providing opportunities, guys. Sometimes it's about getting the young people to see the value in those opportunities. For an example, I've partnered with local carpenters, our carpenters, sorry to say. These guys, I asked them to train these young people practically, boys in woodworking and craftsmanship. But despite having access to free training, many of them they lack a drive to commit, and that's the real issue. Now you get that they just go once, go twice, and not go anymore. How do we reignite ambition in a generation that's constantly distracted? Because that's what is happening. They are always on their phone. They always want to have what they see. Because there's just a lot of things now. It's not like back in the day you're gonna be seeing few things like same thing again and again. But now you're seeing different things, new things each and every day on TV, on the screens. So these kids are always distracted. How do we reignite that ambition, that we all had when we were growing up? I believe the answer lies in relevance. We all have to do that, guys. Like, if we can show them how education and skill translate into real life and success, rather than separating these two things, like, we as much as we promote going to school and saying education is the key and you gotta stay in school in order for you to be successful, and not practically monitoring these kids and then showing them their way, in fact mentoring them. So that's one of the things that we need to do. We need to be relevant. We need to show them how education and skill translate in real world success, because the one who's more educated in the academic side, like of things like the theory and all that, they are also advantageous because they have a part to play in life, and that will give them a reward, and they will have a life, you know. Same applies to the one who has a skill, or you can have both. And these things are very important, because the one who has a skill, I'm telling you, look around you right now. Your furniture is made by someone who has a skill, not in academia. It's not someone who went to varsity who did that. Probably the designer did, or they didn't even go there. But people who made the furniture around your house, everything that we use, are people who used a skill. Nonetheless, those are the things that we need to instill in these kids. That's where the answer really lies. We might just be able to shift their mindsets, but it's a process, I know. And this starts with a conversation like this. So if you just came across this, just know that, man, we're talking about empowering the young ones. We're talking about content creation, education, and its impact in the community, how far stretched it is, and how limited it is, or how narrow focused it is, and what is it that we can do beyond this educational system, which has gaps and loopholes. How do we kind of like, try and motivate these kids and reignite, ambition? These kids, they do understand so strongly the word depression, but they don't even know what the word ambition means. That's what I've found out. That's how bad the future of our young generation is. They don't know the meaning of the word ambition, but they 100% understand the word anxiety and depression, which is depressing for me. It's really scary. So, man, we here in my podcast, we talk about everything. So we talked about content creation, we just talked about education. Now let's get to thought provoking topics. I want us to talk about something that will always spark debate. Yeah, I know, man. You might probably you're waiting for a song before we get to this one. I might play one, I might not. I don't feel like playing a song though, right? I don't feel like playing a song. I just feel like just continuing with the chat. But a long chat makes people drowsy. But let's get to the chat and then play a song and then get all right. Let's play a song and then we'll come back. Let's get to the chat, play a song, and then we close it, right? Okay. With closing thoughts. But nonetheless, now let's talk about something that will always and always spark a debate, right? Let me play this bass house behind, like as a background. I feel like it's gonna be dope for this part. Whoa, that's loud. It's too loud, right? But let's go though. Doesn't matter. Now, language and identity. Told you, thought-provoking topics. Language and identity, they go hand in hand. They are always interlinked. There's a strange double standard when it comes to language in Africa, like very strange. So, if a white person attempts to speak Xhosa or Zulu, they are applauded. Have you ever seen our brothers and sisters? They stop everything and they look, who's talking? Wow. Even if this white person who's speaking English is fumbling it, and they'll be like, wow, nice. And they smile. They can even give them sweets, a tap at on the back, give them a ride to the mall, take them out, give them a cow, a chicken, even two goats, and a sheep. If a white person attempts to speak Xhosa and isiZulu, that's how applauded they get. They get all these gifts. But now let's come to an African struggling with English. Damn, bro. We are not even in England, man. They will get judged. Why is that? And they're not even getting judged by white people. If they do, if white people do judge blacks when they fumble English, then they're not doing it like in the clear, whereby everybody can tell that, okay. But when it comes to black people, hearing another black person struggling with English, yeah, they're gonna judge them and they will make you feel small. I'm telling you. As for instance, my podcast right now, as I've been speaking in this. I don't know why, but in this episode, I've been speaking throughout, and I'm quite 100% sure that there are people with red pens. They've been marking my prepositions, my participles, and everything else. And you'd get that these people are not even English. It goes deeper than just communication, people. It's about colonial influence. That's what it is. How education system is prioritized, how this education system of ours is prioritizing Europe languages over indigenous ones. If you look up in Africa, you'd get that there's a francophone country that strongly believes that English is, I mean, French is everything. You go to countries that they speak or were colonized by Portuguese. Sfanagalo, they think is everything. This affects not only self esteem, guys, but also the way we perceive intelligence and capability. Because those who speaks fluently a foreign language, you may, for some reasons, conclude that the person has a higher IQ or is intelligent than anybody else just because they can articulate this other language properly. Not even looking at their background, where they grow up, where did they grow up, what language were they speaking. You might get that they've been speaking this foreign language for the rest of their lives. But when they come across you, whom you don't, like you grew up not seeing anyone speaking this language. If you do, you get mocked. You speak in English, you get mocked. They'll laugh at you. So now there's time when as you grow up, there's time that you need to speak it now. You have to. And then you get to be in the same room with someone who's been speaking this English for the rest of their lives, like ever since they've been alive. But even though they are black, just because of their area where they grew up and stuff like that, and where you grew up, they would even beat you up if you speak English. And they will just isolate you. They will just like outcast you, be an outcast. So now you get to be in the same room with a person and you hear them being fluent in English, you'll just immediately feel inferior to them. Even if they don't have much knowledge, like they haven't read much books as you have, they don't have much knowledge, like they don't know as like a lot of things that you do know. And like literally speaking, this person only knows swimming, being with friends, going out to restaurants, and you know how to hunt, you know how to swim in a river, like flowing river, you know a forest, you know this, you know that, you even know poverty on top of that. Now you hear the person being fluent in English, and everybody in the room is giving this person who speaks fluently attention more than you. When you get there, some of them they giggle, whispering. You hear people whispering when you're speaking. Someone is mocking you, wants you to say the same thing now and again, wants you to repeat the wrong thing that you've said. And you're also feeling like your self esteem is gone. It's like gone, gone, gone. Because you feel like the person who's fluent is intelligent. So it's a systemic issue, you know. It's a systemic issue that we need to unpack. We need to talk about this, not just go over it, just brush it over. Yes, I know it's a sensitive and it's right now it's a relevant matter to talk about actually. Because if you can see what's happening right now between South Africa and America, it's all sparked by this. Actually, language is one of the aspects that needs to be looked into because Bella Bill is part of this. Yes, right? hmm Now, when it's racist, language is in it too. You'd get that a lot of people that are having a problem with Bella Bill, they haven't even tried to speak the African languages. But all the black people in Africa and in South Africa are expected to be able to speak English. One. Also, now they want them to speak Afrikaans too. And guess what? These guys, they're just crying over Bella Bill. They can't cry over that. They must learn African languages in their schools. I don't know if that Bella Bill has a law like that. If it does, hands up to it, man. Heads up. Like, really, man, we need to upload that. There must be a law that says all people in South Africa must learn at least one African language. Doesn't matter which one, but what matters is where are they allocated in South Africa. That should be part of the bill. And this systemic issue that a person who's fluent in English is smarter than a person who's not. That's nonsense. And the only way to do that, to do away with that, is by challenging these norms, by asking uncomfortable questions and pushing for change. Talking about what I'm talking about right now, we are not seeing any English native speaking teachers in the location, whereas there's English as a second language. They know it better. Why aren't they teaching it in the location? Why aren't we seeing white people teaching in the location? And they don't they know maths? Don't they do science? Don't they know geography or all other subjects that we get in our schools? I thought this education is one. I thought it is one. Like it's one curriculum. So why aren't we having kids coming to these schools that are doing well in the location? What's the problem? Why aren't we having teachers? Why aren't we having even the the of the department officials that are of a different race than blacks in the location? Yes, we do see blacks in towns. We do see blacks in areas that are largely dominated by white people. We do see blacks working there. We do see blacks working in the schools of white dominated um, s- areas and schools. We do see black people teaching in there, but we don't see white people teaching in black schools. Why? We're no longer having like different curriculums now, like we're having the same curriculum. But now coming back to this, these are the topics we need to talk about, so that if we have more of these people in our areas, we will understand when they fumbling our language, it also sounds bad, and we will need to correct them. And if or also we will understand that when we fumble that language, their language, we'll understand that it's their language, it's not like our language. We don't really like know it properly, so we bound to fumble it. We will understand because we are watching them fumbling ours in our areas. We need to live together, guys, like literally. I don't know why people are still living far from us. Because black people are there in the suburbs. Why white people aren't coming to the locations? We have good places here. We have like good areas. Crime rate is 0%. We're free, man. We walking around with phones at night. I can hear them claiming in Oriana that people are walking around with phones. And we do the same here. I mean, we don't have crime here. The clinics are working. The hospitals are working. It's just the cops, the cops are cops. But also the cops are working. Be the one who has done something wrong. You'll see. So that's why crime is the very low. It's just that these cops they just get drunk in public. So you think they are not doing their job properly. But nonetheless, man, everything is intact, is like in place. Hey, schools are not really good. That is why we want these people so that they can do something about that because schools are bad. Other than anything else, man. Yes, I know sometimes the services in the clinics, services, but not in the hospitals, man. That's stopped. Services in some of the departments, like public places that render services to the public. Yes, man. Sometimes, the services are not really good. But nonetheless, we want to see white people working Gasasa here in the location. We want to see them working. Yes, we have seen them being managers in the retail stores. Managers. We want to see them packing, man. We want to see them back shopping, being these things, what do you call? I'm a casual there. But nonetheless, man, this is Bani KaNtondo. I told you we're about to talk about controversial topics right now. As much as they are uncomfortable, we have to ask these questions so that we can push for change. We need to be progressive. South Africa is in the process of changing, so we need to push for change quicker to the right direction. Another issue I want to touch on is the way social media shapes narratives, as much as our government saw that too, that the internet is having its own narrative that it is pushing. We see selective outrage where certain injustice gets massive attention while others are ignored. See why? Because the media controls what we see, what we hear, and ultimately what we care about. That is why everybody's talking about Trump, Zelensky, uh, South Africa against USA. We're not really talking about things that are happening in our local society, like local communities. We don't see that on the news. We always see like international news. So, as content creators, we have a responsibility to break that cycle, to highlight the stories that the mainstream media want, the stories that are happening in our immediate societies. Imagine having a lot of news channels representing each and every kasi, and in each and every kasi, having a news channel representing each and every section. I'm telling you, my guy, we will go further, we'll go very far. And in the process, we're creating jobs. And in the process, we're creating safety and security because we'll be having cameras now and again. No one is going to be doing anything wrong because they know that there is a journalist somewhere. There's a journalist with a camera. Someone who's going to create, who's going to make content out of whatever I'm going to do, which is wrong. So you wouldn't really like get people breaking the law because now we're having paparazzi everywhere. And also, some of the artists will get a shine because they'll be shown in different channels, different followers. If you are singing all these channels, therefore you are already a celebrity. People will buy your music. That's how we're gonna push you. If we could have these smaller nyana channels as content creators in our classes and sending out sending out. I'm one away from 109K. What are you talking about, Meg? So we all need to do these things, guys. Like we need to have these news channels that will highlight all of these things that are happening in our surroundings and stuff. So man, as we get to our last segment of the day, yeah, I'd like to call you a real liar by Nokai. Let's get to that one. Yeah, real good liar by Nokai. You are still watching Bani KaNtondo. Yeah, man. Shalanam, Shalinawe. Wednesday night, it's a Monday today, right? I wonder what you're doing, where you at. Lelina Bani, Ninzandoni. How was your day? Oh, yes, man. Real good liar, Nokai. Said it clearly there. Yeah, man. Welcome back. This is Bani KaNtondo. You're still watching Bani Daily Life Podcast. I'm your host, Didi Shalanam Shalinao. Yeah, man. We are still talking about a lot, man. A lot that is happening around us. You know, man, the show is about everything and anything. I might just upload this. Hopefully, it's not going to be muted from the music that I'm playing. But if it's not, you are also going to be able to watch it again. So, yeah, we have covered the content creation, education, community impact. And yes, man, hopefully, zonke creatives, teachers, and passionate people who wants to make difference have watched this. If you haven't, you're going to, I don't know, rewatch it when I repost it. Probably I'm also gonna have like what shorts, like your is it a short, like your short videos and stuff like that. Yeah, like reels. Yeah, I'm gonna have that as well. So yeah, man, I don't know. Just like and share those with others. And then if they want to see the whole show, they can come back and then just check on me each and every day at 6 p.m., around 6 to 6 or past 6. Just know that around that time I'm going to be live. And thank you for watching, man. And thank you for being with me up until now. That shows that you do love this show. Yeah, man. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe if you've watched up until now. You've been with us up until here. Yeah, man. About TikTok, do you follow? Yeah, yeah. Do follow, please, man, if you feel like. But I'd really appreciate comments. I would really appreciate comments. If we have figure out we have TED, just say anything on the comments. Then yeah, chill. That's better rather than not saying anything, just watching. G. Yeah, man. What are the future plans and what are the closing thoughts after this wonderful show? Nothing much, man. We just looking ahead. The vision stays big, not just big but huge, right? And it's always going to be bigger than just content creation. Okay, as much as it is going to be bigger than that, who knows, man, what's going to happen. All we want to do is just creating spaces, both online and offline, just creating opportunities. That's all we do, man. We create spaces for real conversation, spaces for real impact, whether it's through my upcoming coffee shop, the our ceremonies that I'm planning, and the goal remains the same, man. We gotta big, we got to build this big platform that will empower and uplift the rest of the community, you know. And before we wrap up, all right, before we wrap up, just let me leave you with this, okay? No, this is not what I want to leave you with. Let me leave you with this. If you are thinking about starting something, whether it's a business, a YouTube channel, a podcast, just start. As Nike said it, just do it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect equipment, the perfect conditions before the truth is, because the truth is, pardon me, perfection is a myth. Progress is what matters. That's a wrap up for today. And today's episode just came up to an end. If this conversation resonated with you, share your thoughts, share this podcast, and let's keep the dialogue going. Until next time, stay versatile, stay informed, stay real, be you. See ya. Oh, see ya.